Bellinger. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Libertor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we'll get to all of your election results in just a moment. First, a look at the day after forecast.
Yeah, and we do have chilly temperatures this morning. Looking dry, though. We have some sunshine by the afternoon, and we do have some updates regarding the possible wintry mix that could impact your morning commute for tomorrow. Let's get to all that right now, starting with temperatures. Heading out the door this morning, if you're in the North Country, well below freezing, 21. Big Moose, 24 degrees in Inlet. Heading into the valley, near or below freezing, 30 degrees. In Utica, 32 Westmoreland, 32 Little Falls. And to the south, 31 Cooperstown, as well as Sherburne, 32 Norwich, 27 degrees in Skenevis. So if you're heading out this morning, especially with higher elevations, be careful of potholes that could have ice in them, or any elevated parking lots or areas that are untreated. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at Doppler radar, noticing some minor lake effect going downwind of Lake Ontario, not currently impacting a lot of our area right now. Possibly some light flurries currently going on in western Oneida County. We're tracking for today, again, a cool start with temperatures right around freezing, not warming up by much, only reaching the upper 30s by this afternoon. Skies do clear out, though. It will be a quiet and less windy day compared to yesterday. And again, we do have new updates on a possible wintry mix overnight into early tomorrow. And so for today, high temperatures climbing into the upper 30s to low 40s with quiet conditions. Rain showers or snow or wintry mix moves in tonight. I'll explain in more detail and all that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Let's get right to it now. We begin our Decision 2023 coverage.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your commute cast this morning. No impacts are expected for your morning commute aside from chilly temperatures and maybe some ice over areas in untreated parking lots and higher elevations as temperatures have fallen below freezing in some areas. Regardless, though, no impactful weather. Clouds clear out, breezes calm, and sunshine peaks out by the afternoon. Evening commute still looking clear and dry. However, clouds start to increase around 5 to 6 p.m. as our next weather maker arrives a little after sunset. And so we have made it a Storm Tracker 2 alert day. The timing of this will be, for the most part, impactful tonight and into Thursday morning. And the main thing is a wintry mix that develops over the area. We're going to have cold air trapped near the surface and then a warm front pushing right above it. Rain will fall, reach that cold air near the surface, and then it could possibly freeze over on roadways. So we're going to talk about this as well as the regions that could be impacted by this coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Continuing our Decision 20.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. A chilly start to your Wednesday with temperatures right around freezing in the valley and well below freezing in higher elevations. Let's take a live look in Oneonta, top Hartwick College from our camera right there. You can see quiet conditions currently going on in the City of the Hills with some overcast skies across the area, but that will change within the next few hours as these morning clouds burn off and sunshine peeks out. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Looking at this loop, you can see where the wind direction is coming from. Looking at those light lake effect flurries moving just downwind of the Great Lakes right now. Over here locally, looking at mostly quiet weather. And so again, we do have an alert day for tonight and into Thursday morning. A wintry mix develops over central New York. The main concern is going to be ice accumulation from freezing rain, and we're monitoring how soon warm air mixes in as well as where that warm air mixes in. I'll explain in more detail coming up right here. So here's the bigger picture. We have cold air near the surface today. It's still above freezing for the afternoon. It falls near or below freezing tonight. Then we have a warm front arriving from the west. This basically, cold air is more dense than warm air, so it will get stuck near the surface. It can't rise. It will just stay locally here in the area. Warm air moves in. It'll move over top of that cold air, and with that brings rain or snow showers. Will melt as it falls, and then it will refreeze near the surface. As you can see right here, cold air will be here locally. So move into the area. And the biggest challenge is where those freezing temperatures are, because a difference of a degree or two makes a huge difference in who sees impactful travel for your morning commute. And so looking at our skycast, going back to today, looking at quiet conditions, sunshine peaking out by 9 to 10 a.m. as well as a noontime. High temperatures climbing only into the upper 30s. Heading into tonight, looking at increasing clouds by 5 to 6 p.m. Then here comes the warm front. Maybe some light sleet or some flurries, but no major or any accumulations expected in lower elevations as temperatures are still above freezing right here. However, higher elevations could see a trace amount of snowfall or a dusting. Then heading in the overnight hours, take a look right here. We have some pink. This is a little different as compared to yesterday. This is less widespread, more so isolated in higher elevations, generally north of the Mohawk Valley and east, in the eastern part of the area. The western part of the area could be warming up a little sooner. You notice how here it moves all over to rain by around 8 a.m. So regarding our ice accumulation forecast, the lower elevations should be clear. Treated roads will be fine, but if you are in higher elevations tomorrow, especially in those lighter pink or darker pink regions isolated right here in this map, you could be seeing some icy roadways for your early morning travel. And so for today, starting out with clear skies, heading into tonight, looking at mostly cloudy skies along with that wintry mix developing. And your 7-day forecast, alert day for tomorrow, mostly cloudy Friday and Saturday with some lake effect flurries or some light rain drizzle. For Veterans Day too, looking at some light lake effect cloud cover as well. Behind that though, things do dry out and high pressure builds in with some sunshine for several days heading into next week. So quiet weather arrives after a very busy weather week this week.
That's for sure, and at least it's in the 40s for Veterans Day for all those ceremonies.
Yeah, a little more mild.
Yeah. Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:24. Still ahead on Sunrise. Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libertor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 and meteorologist Eric Gage.
And if folks are heading out today after that big election, it's not too bad of a day.
Not too bad. It's a little chilly this morning. Temperatures near or below freezing depending on location, but dry weather, no rain, no very windy conditions too. Things are a little calm, but again, that does change, as you just mentioned, as you head into tonight and tomorrow, the possible impact for your morning commute. I'll get to that in just a minute. First of all, let's take a look at those local temperatures across central New York. Currently, it is 21 degrees up in the North Country Big Moose, 25 Lake Pleasant, 28 Lowville. In the Mohawk Valley, 30 Utica below freezing, 31 Westmoreland, 32 degrees in Little Falls. Southern Valleys, 31 Cooperstown, 27 Skenevis, 30 degrees over in Sherburne, and quiet conditions locally on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar as just some minor lake effect flurries are taking place to the western portion of central New York. A chilly start for today. Temperatures again right around freezing. Dry this afternoon, not warming up by much, but skies do clear out. We're expecting to see some sunshine by noontime. And again, we do have new updates on a possible wintry mix heading into tonight and into early tomorrow. Again, that could impact your morning commute. So for today, though, enjoy the quiet weather. Although some on the cool side, definitely bundle up. Temperatures peaking only in the upper 30s to low 40s. We're tracking what to expect for tonight and tomorrow in terms of your impact for your morning commute. Details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never.
The Cooperstown Cam is brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group.
Good morning and welcome back. Here's a look at current conditions measured at Griffith Park in Rome here in central New York. Currently 30 degrees, feels like 20 degrees with that wind chill. Take a look at that right there, 14-mile-per-hour winds from the northwest. Winds, although a little breezy this morning, will gradually calm as the daylight approaches and heading into the afternoon, the less windy day of the next several. Also looking at the conditions right now too, mostly cloudy skies. Those morning clouds will burn off in the next few hours. A live look there for Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Nothing picking up on the radar right now. Still some light snow showers from lake effect way out to the west, currently impacting some areas in Shenango and western Madison counties. Now, heading into tonight and into tomorrow, a warm front approaches, moves over cold air, and we're talking about the potential for a wintry mix, especially in higher elevations, could impact roadways as well as bridges in lower elevations, as temperatures on bridges will cause ice to freeze over sooner than just asphalt. But I'll go into more detail on that in just a minute. For today, though, morning sunshine, increasing clouds, highs barely reaching the low 40s. I'll go into more detail in that full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Well, who's the boss? Tony.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and happy Wednesday. A chilly start to your day today as temperatures are starting out in the low 30s, in the upper 20s in some higher elevations. In fact, here's a live look in the city of Utica from our Nexus camera. Some clear skies pushing through the area right now, and a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at Doppler radar. All is quiet here locally as just some minor lake effect snow showers are taking place just to the western portion of our viewing area. Now, the big story is going to be for tonight. Things are quiet for today as sunshine peaks out. High temperatures barely reach the upper 30s to low 40s. But by tonight, a warm front arrives. Possible wintry mix over central New York. The biggest concern is going to be ice accumulation on roadways due to freezing rain. And we're also monitoring how soon that warm air mixes in by Thursday morning, how that impacts your travel. So talking about precipitation types, here is a look at the 4 main precipitation types. Rain, warm air from the top of the clouds all the way to the surface. Freezing rain is when you have that very thin layer of cold air near the surface, and that rain falls, reaches that below freezing air, and then it freezes on contact. And that could mean slippery roadways in some conditions. So if you do see yourself on an icy roadway, a few tips: keep your steering wheel straight, don't brake, just take your foot off the gas and just gradually slow down, because there's nothing you can do to control the steering of your car. And looking at the bigger picture, this is the main thing we're talking about right here. We have a cold air near the surface here locally for tonight, near or below freezing. A warm front arrives from the west. This will push into the area. And again, cold air is more dense than warm air, so it will stick near the surface and get trapped. Warm air moves over top of it, and that rain could fall and then freeze over top some areas. So looking at in detail for who can be seeing these wintry mixes or the possible freezing rain showers for tonight. We're looking at quiet conditions for today. Again, sunshine peaking out in the afternoon with increasing clouds tonight. Then that warm front arrives, maybe some light flurries, minor accumulation in higher elevations north of the valley. Other than that, no real accumulation in terms of snowfall. But then heading into early tomorrow, that pink area right here, generally north of I-90, higher elevations north of the Mohawk Valley, as well as sweeping down into portions of Otsego County. The areas to the west here and around Hamilton, Norwich should be largely clear of any accumulating ice, but still bridges in lower elevations or untreated roadways in higher elevations could see ice accumulation. And look at the map right here. The darker pink or light pink indicate the possibility of ice accumulating on surfaces, especially on untreated roadways. And so for today, highs approaching the low 40s with some morning sunshine, increasing clouds, less breezy tonight, wintry mix, lows falling at near freezing. Your 7-day forecast, alert day for tomorrow, because of that possible impact on your morning commute. We'll let you know exactly when that changeover happens. This is something that we have to keep an eye on for while it happens. So, of course, tomorrow morning for sunrise, we'll be on top of it and making sure that if your morning commute is impacted, to let you know who will be seeing that freezing rain. But for today, though, enjoy the quiet weather. A little chilly, but we got some sunshine on tap.
Yeah, not bad with the sunshine.
Not too bad.
Eric, thanks. Well, hidden away for hundreds of years. For joining us, I'm Gary Libertor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we'll have all the election results coming up in just a bit. But first, the forecast. After yesterday, it seems like a little sunshine today.
Yeah, a little sunshine, a little cool. Temperatures starting out either near or below freezing here locally. However, yeah, sunshine does arrive this afternoon. Winds do calm. It was very windy yesterday, that's for sure. And things are quiet, but for now, as we head into tonight, there is a chance for a wintry mix to impact your morning commute. But we'll enjoy the quiet weather right now. Temperatures currently 20 degrees, Big Moose, 25, Lake Pleasant. In the valley, 28, Dolgeville, 30, Utica, 30, Westmoreland, 27 in Deansboro. And to the south, 30, Cooperstown and Sherburne, as well as Norwich, 26 degrees in Skenevis. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at Doppler radar. We're looking at relatively quiet conditions, some minor lake effect flurries taking place off of Lake Ontario, not impacting a lot of central New York at this time, but we are seeing some cloud cover that will slowly burn off this morning. So again, a chilly start today, not warming up by much, but the winds do calm. Definitely feels very chilly out there with those stronger wind chills. Dry this afternoon. And as we approach tonight, a wintry mix develops. I'll explain in more detail on who could be seeing what precipitation type coming up in just a minute. But for today, though, temperatures climbing only into the upper 30s to low 40s with sunshine by the afternoon, increasing clouds, possible impacts to your morning commute for tomorrow. Details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Let's get right to the numbers now.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back to News Channel 2 at sunrise. Starting out with your commute cast for this morning. No impacts to your travel aside from maybe a few isolated icy spots in untreated parking lots or roadways as you head out the door this morning as temperatures have fallen below freezing. Regardless, though, on the regular roadways, things are looking fine with decreasing clouds. This evening, still quiet weather is expected until after 6 to 8 p.m. That's when unsettled weather arrives as a warm front brings the possibility of a wintry mix tonight. So because of that, we have an alert day, well, alert night for tonight and into early Thursday morning. That is when a wintry mix develops over central New York. The main concern is going to be ice accumulation on roadways due to freezing rain. We have a lot of cold air into the surface, and then warm air will move over top of that. Rain will fall and it could freeze as it reaches that below freezing area to the surface. I'll explain who could be impacted by this as well as more details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Continuing our Decision 2023.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
To your Wednesday with temperatures right around freezing across the area and wind chill values in the 20s and teens. So bundle up if you head out this morning. Quiet conditions here in downtown Utica with some overcast skies, lake effect clouds being the culprit. However, as we approach the next few hours, these clouds will clear out and we're going to be expecting some sunshine by the late morning to early afternoon. The big story for today is going to be, a matter of fact, for tonight and early Thursday morning. Again, I mentioned just a few minutes ago, wintry mix develops over central New York. The main concern right here, ice accumulation on roads from freezing rain. And it's a bit of a tricky forecast, and I'll explain it right here. Precipitation types, we have 4 main kinds, and you can see right here, snow, sleet, freezing rain, rain. It all has to do with where the freezing temperature of cold air is. And you can notice right here for freezing rain, you got warm air all the way down to right around the surface, and you have this very thin sliver of freezing rain. It's too soon for the rain droplets to freeze in the air, and it's also too soon for it to recrystallize into a snowflake. So because of that, it'll fall as rain, and then it will refreeze on the ground. So some tips if you do encounter this tomorrow. Keep your steering wheel straight, do not brake, and just take your foot off the gas and just let your car slowly decelerate. That's your best chance of not losing control on icy roadways, especially on icy bridges. So here's the bigger picture. Cold air currently in place right now. Tomorrow night, falling near or below freezing once more. Then that warm front arrives from the south. That warm air moves over top of this cold air, and then rain will start to fall. And as it reaches that below freezing air near the surface, it could refreeze on the ground. But at least for today, looking at quiet conditions with some sunshine peeking out by 9 a.m. into around noontime, increasing clouds approaching the evening, and as we head into tonight, around 7 to 8 p.m., that's when a brief round of maybe some light flurries, some sleet, just wet snowflakes here or there move into the area. No accumulation expected, especially in lower elevations. Higher elevations could see maybe a dusting of snowfall. Early Thursday morning, here's a look at areas that could be seeing that wintry mix. That pink right there, temperatures below freezing, and you can look at the locations right here. Light pink and dark pink indicating the possibility of ice accumulating on roadways. More of a concern for higher elevations on roadways and less of concern for the Mohawk Valley I-90 corridor. So for today, highs in the low 40s, increasing sunshine this morning, increasing clouds this evening. Tonight, wintry mix, low 32. Your 7-day forecast, mostly cloudy with lake effect light rain for Friday and for Saturday, and dry weather arrives approaching next week. So we do have active weather for tomorrow and then maybe for the end of the week, but we do have quiet weather on the horizon.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye on tomorrow morning's commute.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow. And thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libertor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And a lot of folks already thinking about tomorrow morning and that commute.
Yeah, that's right. And before that, though, today, a little cool this morning. Wind chills in the 20s, in some areas the teens, so definitely a little chilly
out there.
And dry today, but yeah, that wintry mix arrives tonight and tomorrow. Could impact your morning commute. And I'll get into that in just a minute, though. But first, taking a look at those temperatures across the area, definitely want to bundle up this morning. Winds are still a bit breezy, and the winds do calm as we approach the mid-afternoon. But for those in the North Country, Big Moose Inlet wind chill values are currently in the upper to mid-teens. Mohawk Valley, 21-degree wind chill, 30-degree Westmoreland, 32 Little Falls, 29 Dolgeville. To the south, Cooperstown 30, Sherburne 29, Norwich 30 degrees, wind chills down there in the low 20s. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Quiet conditions, some lingering lake effect clouds should be coming to an end later on this morning. A chilly start today, dry this afternoon as skies clear out. And we do have new updates on that possible wintry mix arriving tonight and into early tomorrow that could impact your morning commute. And so for today, temperatures starting out near freezing, only warming up into the upper 30s to low 40s. Quiet weather comes to an end tonight. I'll get more detail in what to expect for the weather impacts tomorrow morning coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. Tonight, 5.
Welcome back. Current conditions right now, 29 degrees. Feels like 19 degrees. Measured at Griffiths Park in Rome with that wind chill, so definitely want to bundle up if you were heading outside this morning. Also with rain showers last night, be careful of some icy spots on untreated surfaces, especially in parking lots. And maybe you're dealing with maybe a few areas to be scraping off that rain showers have since turned over to ice on your car. Mostly cloudy skies this morning, quiet conditions expected for today. As you can see right here in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, all is quiet. As we approach tonight, weather starts to turn active, starting out with a brief wintry mix and some light snow. No real accumulations except for the North Country. Then by tomorrow morning, right around 3 a.m., you could be seeing that wintry mix in that pink area right there, especially in areas just north of the Mohawk Valley and areas south, as temperatures will fall near or below freezing, and that warm air moving on top of that will cause a potential for freezing rain to fall. But for today, expect quiet weather. Temperatures barely reaching the low 40s with some morning sunshine, clouds increasing this evening. I'll go into more detail on what to expect for the weather tonight coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Some sad news out of SUNY.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, welcome back. A chilly start to your Wednesday with mostly cloudy skies. Clearing starting to take place here in Utica. In fact, taking a live look at downtown Utica from an Axis camera. Looking at clearing skies currently over the downtown region, and a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across central New York, aside from some lingering lake effect flurries taking place moving off of Lake Ontario, heading down to the south. Now, things are quiet for today, sunshine developing. However, our main attention is going to be for tonight, especially into early Thursday morning. A wintry mix develops over central New York. Our main concern is going to be ice accumulation on roadways due to freezing rain. It's a bit of a tricky forecast. The best chances of seeing when this happens will be when we get more data coming in tomorrow morning. We'll be sure to be on top of where that freezing rain takes place. A look at the freezing rain, at least the different precipitation types regarding including freezing rain. Starting out, warm air all the way from the cloud to the surface indicates rain. If there's a sliver of cold air, freezing air near the surface, that rain will fall and then refreeze on the ground. And that is the current situation we could be expecting by tomorrow morning. And as a matter of fact as well, if you do head out on the roadways for tonight and into tomorrow morning, just be careful of icy spots. A few things to keep an eye out for while you're on the icy spots. Just keep your steering wheel straight, do not brake, and take your foot off the gas to slow down and let your car slow down for you. The bigger picture, we have cold air near the surface right now here locally and into tonight as overnight lows fall near or below freezing. Then that warm front from the south moves in, bringing rain showers, and that warm air moves over top of that cold air near the surface and then as the rain falls, it could refreeze. And so, here locally right now, quiet conditions in our skycast. Sunshine peeking out by 9 to noon time. High temperatures only climbing into the upper 30s. By tonight, increasing clouds, then the weather starts to turn more active. Starting out after sunset, some light looking at some lake effect drizzle coming off of the Great Lakes right here, including just some light snow showers as well. No real accumulation except for areas north of the Mohawk Valley. And then as we approach the early morning hours tomorrow, a wintry mix is possible in these areas highlighted in my hand right here. The pink, including all the way down into Cooperstown, higher elevations. Here's the most likely places to be seeing that freezing rain, the light pink and that darker pink right there, as surface temperatures could be near or below freezing. That means that roadways could turn icy as well as bridges as well. And so for today, highs only reaching the upper 30s to low 40s. Some morning sunshine, increasing clouds. Tonight, lows falling near freezing with a wintry mix. Your 7-day forecast. Alert day for tomorrow morning coming to an end as things dry out Thursday evening. Some lingering lake effect Friday and Saturday. Dry weather and warmer weather arrive by next week. So let's get through some active weather today. And for those heading out this morning, again, bundle up. Very chilly out there right now.
But if you do want to get out there for a walk today, a lot better than tomorrow, right?
Yes.
That's for sure. Eric, thanks. Well, hidden away for hundreds of years, new.
From where the news comes first, this is News Channel 2 at 7 a.m. on CW11.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us here on the CW11. I'm Gary Libertor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And if you're heading out to the bus stop, bundle up this morning.
Yeah, that's right. We got wind chills in the 20s and teens in some areas this morning. Yeah, the winds do calm. Temperatures barely pick up, though, only in the upper 30s. So definitely a cool but dry day today. We got some sunshine.
Yeah, that's a good news.
Yep, as you head into this afternoon. In fact, those temperatures as you head out the door this morning, again, grab that winter jacket. It's going to be a cold one. 29 Westmoreland and Utica, 20 degrees in Big Moose up north, and wind chills again on the colder side. Definitely going to feel very crisp as you head outside this morning. 28 lastly in Dodgeville. Wrapping up the Southern Valleys, 28 Hamilton, 29 Sherburne and Cooperstown with 25 degrees in Skenevis. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at Doppler radar. Looking mostly quiet here locally. Just some lake effect clouds are dealing with right now, and lake effect light snowflakes you can see barely popping up on the radar that should come to an end as the morning progresses. Again, a chilly start today, dry this afternoon, skies clear out with plenty of sunshine. We also have new updates on that possible wintry mix tonight that could impact your morning commute for tomorrow. But for today, high temperatures climbing into the upper 30s with sunshine peeking out throughout the day. And active weather returns tonight and in tomorrow. I'll have full details on that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Let's get right to it now. We begin our Decision 20.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. A chilly start to your Wednesday with temperatures right around freezing in the valley. Wind chills already in the 20s, in some cases teens. Now, temperatures do pick up today, but not by much, only into the upper 30s by the afternoon. Live look at downtown Utica from Nexus Camera. Mostly cloudy skies, a streak of sunshine moving through the overcast as lake effect clouds are slowly coming to an end as some lingering light flurries are currently taking place just downwind of Lake Ontario this morning. Quiet weather today along with sunshine. However, our attention is for tonight as a wintry mix develops over central New York. The main concern is going to be ice accumulation on roadways due to the possibility of freezing rain. I want to emphasize our precipitation types right here. We have four main kinds. Now, the freezing rain is a situation where we have warm air from the clouds all the way near to the ground. And you have that very small area of cold air near the surface. As the rain falls, doesn't have time to freeze before it reaches the ground, so it'll reach the ground and then freeze on contact. That's our concern heading into this evening. Now, radar and satellite, this is the bigger picture we're talking about right now. So you have cold air near the surface. This will be below the warm air. Cold air is more dense. The warm front approaches, goes over top of that cold air, and as I mentioned right there previously, this is what we're talking about for the potential for mixing precipitation as well as freezing rain. So, For right now, though, quiet conditions today as clouds come to an end, winds calm and temperatures climb into the upper 30s to low 40s. Increasing clouds tonight. Then after sunset, here comes that initial round of precipitation, starting out as maybe some light flurries. No real accumulation except for some areas could see trace amounts of snow in the northern portions of central New York. Then that mixing takes place, especially in higher elevations just north of the valley, and then especially in lower elevations in Otsego County. Areas to the west, less likely to see that mixing, but here's a look at potential impacts right here. That light pink to dark pink indicates that potential for ice to accumulate on roadways and possibly on bridges in lower elevations, as bridges are much more likely to ice over. And so for today, highs reaching the upper 30s, low 40s, increasing clouds later on this evening. Expect sunshine earlier on today. Tonight, lows falling into the low 30s with a wintry mix. Your 7-day forecast: after active weather Thursday morning, things dry out with quiet weather returning by next week.
On this Wednesday, here is meteorologist Eric Gage. And Eric, it's a chilly forecast out there right now.
Yeah, that's right. Chilly and dry. Temperatures across the area are still barely in the low to mid 30s. We do have quiet conditions across the state on the New York State Mesonet camera network. Taking a look right here. However, we are seeing just some faded sunshine as some very high-level clouds are approaching from the west, not expecting any rain or snow showers from them at this time. You can see quiet conditions here in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Take a look at this right here. Temperature is 35 degrees right now with feeling like the 30s, so below freezing temperatures it feels like out as of noontime. So definitely a crisp one out there for today. Highs will barely reach the upper 30s to low 40s this afternoon before a wintry mix arrives tonight. Could impact your morning travel for tomorrow. I'll get more detail on that full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. A 22-year-old Utica woman.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon and welcome back. Temperatures are still hovering in the 30s across central New York. It's a bit chilly out there as of noontime. Now we are talking about the potential for a wintry mix tomorrow morning, overnight tonight and early tomorrow morning. It's an alert day or alert night, I should say, just because this is one of the first times happening this season. Some people don't have snow tires yet. This could cause an impact on untreated roadways, especially in higher elevations north and east of Utica. So this is why it's an alert day. Not looking at a huge impact or a long-term impact. This is over and done with by the time the mid-morning of Thursday rolls around. It's only a temporary early morning issue. Now, things right now in downtown Utica are pretty quiet with some faded sunshine. High-level clouds are pushing through into the area. Quiet right now in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Different story as we take a zoom out right here. So right now we have cold air near the surface over central New York, Utica, Rome, northern Herkimer County, and southern Otsego County, all in this pocket of cold air. We do have warm air arriving from the south. Now, this is a setup that causes freezing rain. You've got cold air, which is more dense. It is way near the ground. Warm air, which flows over top that cold air. And when you have rain falling into a brief layer of cold air, that can freeze on the surface and cause freezing rain. Now, radar skycast for this evening, still looking quiet, 6 p.m. Evening commute tonight, no issues expected. As we approach the overnight hours tonight, that's when some scattered snow showers and sleet mix in. Again, no real impact. Temperatures near the surface are still relatively above freezing, but this could change as we head into the overnight hours. Highs right now are still in the mid-30s, so if we don't warm up that much today, this could be more of a widespread impact. But for now, we're talking about the areas just north and east of Utica, seeing that wintry mix of freezing rain turning over to some icing on or accumulating ice on roadways or bridges. Regardless, things do quiet down as we approach noontime and temperatures warm back up into the 40s. So how much snow are we talking about? Well, not a lot really for most of the area. Just inland Old Forge could see maybe an inch or two of snowfall. And regarding ice, you can see it right here. Not everyone will see this freezing rain. It will mainly be isolated to areas, again, north and east of Utica and higher elevations up in Herkimer County, right down into parts of Ohio, into north of Herkimer, and just part of Tug Hill to the north. So for today, highs barely approaching the upper 30s, low 40s, increasing clouds. Tonight, wintry mix, lows falling near or below freezing. Your 7-day forecast, alert day for tomorrow morning. That comes to an end by tomorrow evening. And then we're talking about light lake effect rain or snow showers Friday and Saturday, drying up by next week. Gary?
What a roller coaster ride we have.
Yeah. Pretty active.
Get ready for tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Eric, thanks. Coming up, why climate change. Once again, here is meteorologist Eric Gage.
As we approach the inevitable winter season, I want to briefly talk about the types of precipitation we could be seeing as we approach the cooler months. Taking a look at the different types, we have 4 we usually see here in central New York: rain, freezing rain, sleet, or snow. Now, we do have the chance for freezing rain to occur, and that is when you have just a very small sliver of cold air near the surface. As a matter of fact, pointing it out right here, rain falls in the warm air and cools down right near the ground where it freezes on contact. And that's a possibility we could be seeing as we approach tonight, especially in higher elevations. And just a reminder, for those of you that do end up being on icy roads, keep your steering wheel straight, do not brake, and take your foot off the gas. Let your car decelerate for you, otherwise you might be slipping. Temperature currently 35 degrees as of 12:33, so it's still a very crisp day across the area. Feels like 30, and we are seeing some high-level clouds mix in right now, but other than that, quiet conditions. And quiet weather will continue for this afternoon and this evening before unsettled weather arrives tonight. I'll explain in more detail in that full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Some sad news out of...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon and welcome back. It's a crisp day out there today with temperatures in the 30s, and we do have clouds increasing from the west. Here's a live look at downtown Utica from an Nexus camera. We are looking at, again, quiet conditions, some faded sunshine from those upper level clouds, but quiet on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at top of the radar. This will change as we approach tonight. Right after sunset, a wintry mix starts to arrive. Might be starting out as light flurries and maybe some light sleet. Then it'll start to turn over to possibly some freezing rain in higher elevations north and east of Utica. Lower elevations in the western portion of the Mohawk Valley should be okay from seeing any mixing so far, but of course, this is an event that we have to be watching as it's happening. Now, the bigger picture, we have cold air near the surface right now in central New York. This will stay in place for tonight. Overnight lows falling near or below freezing depending on elevation. Then a warm front from the southwest will slowly move up in our area. That warm air will move over top of that cold air. And as the rain starts to fall, as it reaches this cold air, it'll start to freeze. And that is what we're talking about in terms of a wintry mix that could impact your travel for the early morning hours. So for right now, again, quiet conditions, increasing clouds, no impact for your evening commute for tonight. Things are quiet. As we approach the overnight hours, some light flurries and maybe some sleet mixing in, but no measurable accumulation in the valley, maybe a trace to an inch or so in the North Country. Then, as we approach 1 to 4 a.m., that's when that warm air moves through and mixing is possible, especially in this pink area right here, including Boonville, up in inland Old Forge, down into central Herkimer County, and then possibly the lower elevations if that cold air works its way down near the surface overnight tonight, falling below freezing. This is only a temporary issue, though. As we approach Thursday morning between 9 and 10 a.m., it's all turned over to rain, and travel issues are all but gone. And regarding snowfall, again, primarily in the North Country, and then for ice accumulations, primarily north and east of Utica in those higher elevations right here, indicated by that light to dark pink noted on this map. So not a lot of ice accumulation expected, but still this could impact your morning commute. We'll keep you updated for this evening as well as early tomorrow morning with the very latest. And so for today, highs barely approaching the low 40s, currently in the upper 30s right now. Tonight, lows falling near or below freezing, wintry mix expected. Your 7-day forecast, travel impacts all but gone for Thursday evening, then maybe some light lake effect sprinkles and flurries Friday and Saturday for Veterans Day. Then dry weather moves back in, warming up by Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Now 1 month after the Hamas.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to get to those stories in just a moment. First, though, it is a Storm Tracker 2 alert day. Mixed precipitation falling in our viewing area. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Wow, the radar is lit up tonight.
Yeah, we've got that mix taking place. It's primarily sleet, starting out as snow. Roads will be slippery over the next couple of hours. The treated roads are fine, but untreated surfaces you got to watch out for. We're going to continue to see more precipitation work in from the west as we head into tonight, and we're expecting a changeover from sleet to freezing rain and then eventually over to rain by tomorrow morning. But again, looking at some ice accumulation and some slippery roads. Not a lot of ice accumulation overall, but again, enough to make things slippery. We have winter weather advisories in effect for all of central New York for tonight. And again, we're going to stay in alert mode through tomorrow morning. Current temperature is 33 degrees. Again, that mix of snow and sleet continuing across central New York. Tonight, it turns over to some rain as we head into early tomorrow morning. But again, roadways will continue to be slippery. We're tracking conditions for tomorrow morning's commute coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. We are following breaking news in the News Channel 2 newsroom. Hollywood's
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking a wintry mix across central New York. We've got a combination of snow, some snow. This is primarily falling as sleet. And this is also going to transition over to freezing rain and rain as we head into tonight. So we've got a pretty complicated mess on our hands tonight. Precipitation is widespread. It's not super heavy, but as it continues to fall, it will produce some slippery spots as we head into tonight, especially on untreated surfaces. We look to the west, we can see more precipitation where this is coming from. And again, we're going to be in the thick of this here for the next several hours. Road conditions slippery on untreated surfaces. A lot of the main roads are fine. We've been noticing the crews have been out well ahead of this. So the main highways should be okay even through tonight. It's the side roads, the sidewalks, driveways, parking lots. Those could be a little bit slippery, and that could last into tomorrow morning. As temperatures rise above freezing, the roads look wet tomorrow morning, and the afternoon should be dry. So the impact will become a lot lower as you head into daybreak tomorrow. Live looking downtown Utica, looking at generally wet weather. Wanted to give a shout out to the folks of the town of German Flats, the Fort Herkimer Amateur Radio Association, inviting me to speak on winter topics. That we took a look at the winter outlook, which, by the way, will be taking place next week. We're going to be debuting this next week on TV, but these folks got a sneak preview of it earlier today. Winds pick up tonight. Generally from the southeast, breezy conditions through tomorrow morning. The winds will be around throughout the day tomorrow, turning from the southeast into the northwest as low pressure swings through. Breezy conditions continue through the afternoon. The winds become generally lighter as we head into Friday, looking at wind gusts between about 10 to 20 miles an hour. Warm front continues to move through tonight, and again, it's leading to sleet and freezing rain. On the other side of this, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. Temperatures will warm up tomorrow, and again, roads generally look wet. So again, watch out for a few icy spots tonight. Overnight lows will be in the low 30s. We start out tomorrow morning with temperatures barely above freezing in most areas. Then we do expect to see some rain showers, temperatures in the 40s. We dry out in the afternoon. Weather looks pretty quiet tomorrow night. Overnight lows drop down into the 30s, and couple of sprinkles and flurries linger north on Friday. A light icing is expected tonight across a good portion of the area. Again, watch out on untreated surfaces. Wintry mix tonight, low of 32. Tomorrow, breezy showers in the morning, 49 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Cold this weekend, temperatures in the upper 30s. Cold for early November, I should say, because that's going to be nice days in the winter.
No kidding, right?
Some sunshine expected too.
All right, thanks, Bill. Coming up next, her day in Paulus. It's a Storm Tracker 2 alert day with a wintry mix and slippery roads in the forecast.
That's right. First big change of the season. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis is tracking from the Weather Center what we need to know to stay safe.
This is mainly tonight. The roads start getting slippery late this evening. We're talking closer to midnight when most of these problems will be occurring, when sleet and freezing rain starts to stick to the roads. As we head into Thursday morning, temperatures are going to warm up, so roads will be mainly wet for the Thursday morning commute. But you want to be careful on side roads and untreated surfaces late tonight and early tomorrow. It's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. This is what we're tracking. It's to the west. You can see precipitation moving in. That will be taking place again late this evening. Current temperature is 34. It's been a cold day, and it's not going to take much for this precipitation to fall as a combination of snow, sleet, freezing rain, eventually over to plain rain. We'll track the ever-changing conditions we can expect for tonight and how things progress as we head through Thursday, and that's coming up. Kristen, back to you.
We are following breaking news in the
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Cold day today. The air kind of having a bite to it. Temperatures only in the 30s this evening, and we didn't really warm up that much today. That means our next round of precipitation is not going to be rain, but rather a combination of snow turning over to sleet, freezing rain, and then eventually over to rain by tomorrow morning as warmer air eventually works in. So it's a complex scenario that happens tonight, and it all begins late this evening. So this is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We see the leading edge of precipitation starting to work in to western New York. It's running into some dry air. So what you see is not necessarily what's making it to the ground, at least not yet. As this moves in from the west, we expect the precipitation to break out as snow beginning between 8 to 10 p.m. this evening. It starts out light. Bigger concern is when this turns over to sleet and freezing rain, because even a small amount of icing can create hazardous travel. But you can see all the different colors showing up on the radar. That just shows you the complexity of the upcoming weather system. Thankfully, this is relatively light precipitation. It's not super heavy. But again, it does impact travel tonight. This evening, I think most of the evening is okay. Again, we're dry for at least the next several hours before some light snow breaks out. When this turns over to sleet and freezing rain just after midnight, that's when slippery roads will be taking place. Watch out on untreated surfaces. By the morning, it's wet. Temperatures will be above freezing. Side roads, especially areas north and east of Utica, could have some residual slippery spots, but I think most of us will be in good shape for the Thursday morning commute, and the afternoon is looking dry across the region. Live look in downtown Utica. Again, things are looking quiet for now. Temperatures are chilly, again, in the 30s today. Whitesboro 33, Utica 35, across the southern valleys in the 30s, Cooperstown 34, Skinevus 31. So again, plenty of cold air around for this to initially start out as snow. Again, to the west, this is a warm front, which means the leading edge of warm air is approaching the region. Snow breaks out 8 to 10 p.m. A very light accumulation is expected. Most areas pick up less than 1 inch of accumulation before it turns over to sleet and freezing rain. Just after midnight, this is when things get slippery. It's mostly overnight that we're expecting slippery roads. By Thursday morning, temperatures climb above freezing. It will be in the mid-30s in the Mohawk Valley, low 40s across the southern valleys, with a cold rain taking place across central New York. Do note, though, north and east of Utica, these areas are notorious for taking longer to warm up. The ice will hold on longer in these areas, probably until about mid-morning, before even these areas climb above freezing. Temperatures will be close to 50 in the afternoon. Again, some ice accumulation on the light side, but again, even a small amount of ice is enough to make things slippery. Wintry mix tonight, 32 for the low. Showers in the morning, breezy in the afternoon. Tomorrow, a high of 49. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Some snow showers north on Friday, 45 degrees for the high. It's cold this weekend, but it's dry. Temperatures will be in the 40s as we head into early next week. So this is just a good reminder. If you haven't gotten the snow tires on, you're going to want to think about doing so sooner than later.
Making sure you have all the matching gloves.
That too.
All right, thanks, Bill. Hey, while there is no snow on the ground right now and snowmobile season doesn't open until hunting season's over, the DMV wants to take the time and remind you, you need to register your machines now. It's something you have to do every year if you want to ride. You can register online or in person at the DMV. And if you belong to a snowmobile club, you can get a $55 discount on your registration.
Coming up, how weather is playing a major part in the 2024 presidential campaign.
Also tonight, Israeli military says its troops are in the heart of Gaza City. Welcome sunshine today, but there's some big changes coming up tonight. That's why Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis issuing an alert day today.
About slippery weather as we head into tonight. We're talking about a wintry mix, sleet, freezing rain. What's the difference between the two? We're going to go to a food analogy here. I know it's dinner time, but let's get to dessert. So sleet forms when rain freezes before it hits the ground. I want you to think about sleet like sprinkles on a donut. When sleet falls, it's loud, it pings, and it's basically frozen raindrops. Now, freezing rain is different. Freezing rain forms in a very similar environment, but it freezes on the ground, and it turns into a sheet of ice. So think about the glaze on a donut for freezing rain. So there you go. You'll never forget the difference when you think about donuts. Let's take a look at the radar this evening. We're looking to the west. You can see a lot of different colors here. That is that wintry mix. It starts out as snow. We'll have to come up with a different donut analogy for that. But we are talking about the whole gamut here. Snow, sleet, freezing rain, and eventually rain as we head into tomorrow morning. Bottom line is things get slippery tonight, and it's mostly overnight when we're going to be having issues in the roadways. By the morning commute, temperatures are expected to be above freezing with mostly wet roads. But again, do watch out on untreated surfaces tonight. We're going to talk about how this forms in the first place, what the ingredients need to be in the atmosphere in order to get sleet and freezing rain. That's coming up. Jason, back over to you.
Maybe a jelly bun, Bill. Decision 20.
Wintry mix tonight, and that could lead to some slippery roadways. Get ready.
Perhaps you're just walking through the door. You want to know what's going on tonight? Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis is going to tell you exactly what to expect.
Snow to turn over to sleet and freezing rain overnight. The biggest issues will be after midnight tonight and before the Thursday morning commute, as temperatures will slowly rise by Thursday morning, and this turns over to rain. So how does this environment happen in the first place? Why is this not just snow or rain? Well, it has to do with the atmosphere. We're going to look at this three-dimensionally using augmented reality. And what's happening here is warm air is aloft. So temperatures at the surface are below freezing. But as that warm air nudges in, what happens is snow turns over to rain as it falls through the atmosphere. And if that rain freezes before it hits the ground, it ends up being sleet. And if it freezes on the ground, it's freezing rain. The only difference between both of those environments is that cold air near the surface is what we would call a little bit thicker. It means the rain has more time to freeze before it hits the ground. And if that cold air is very thin, the rain doesn't have enough time to do that. Freezing rain is considered more hazardous to drive on compared to sleet, but both are pretty tough, and we're expecting both to take place as we head into tonight. And again, this is all caused by a warm front. Again, a nudge of warmer air working into cold air in place. And again, we're expecting tricky travel overnight. By Thursday morning, this turns over to rain. We're taking a look at the forecast beyond what's happening tonight, and that's coming up. Back over to you.
All right, Bill, thank you.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We are tracking a wintry mix tonight. It starts out as snow before changing over to sleet and freezing rain. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We look to the west. Lots of colors means lots of changes. Our radar is showing that mixed precipitation moving in. This will be arriving locally between 8 to 10 p.m. Again, initially starting out as snow before changing over to sleet and freezing rain. Roads are expected to be slippery overnight. I think the worst of this in terms of the largest extent of slippery roads would be after midnight to about 4 to 5 a.m. After that time, temperatures climb above freezing across many areas, so roads will be wet. There's a delay when temperatures climb above freezing versus when everything is good to go in terms of the ice melting. It takes a little bit longer for the ice to melt. So still be careful on untreated surfaces, sidewalks, driveways, parking lots early tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, it's dry and will be well above freezing. A reminder, our winter outlook is going to be next Thursday, the 17th. But if you can't wait until then, I'll be speaking tonight at the town of German Flats Community Center at 7 o'clock. It's all part of the Fort Herkimer Amateur Radio Association's a monthly meeting. Again, that's taking place at 7 o'clock. Winds tonight pick up from the south, gusting as high as 30 miles an hour through 5 o'clock in the morning. Winds turn into the west Thursday afternoon. This is all part of low pressure moving through. That's why we see those changes in wind direction. It's breezy through tomorrow afternoon. The winds won't be any stronger than they were yesterday. Then we'll expect the winds to become much lighter as we head into Friday. But again, with winds up to about 30 miles an hour, it could still blow some leaves onto the roadway and some debris, something to keep in mind. Chilly today. Look at these temperatures from our sky watchers. Only in the low 30s. Feels like an early winter day. Curtis Corners 29, Norway 32. Across Southern Valleys, Cooperstown 34, West Lawrence 34, and Eaton with 31 degrees. So again, temperatures sufficiently cold enough for this to start out as that combination of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Warm front moves through tonight. Again, watch out for slippery spots through tomorrow morning. Rain showers as we head into tomorrow morning. This is the scene at 7 a.m. Again, most of us will be above freezing. Some lingering pockets of ice north and east of Utica. But by the afternoon, again, we're well above freezing. Temperatures climb into the upper 40s. Generally dry weather tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening before a few scattered rain and snow showers return as we head into early Friday. Widespread light icing taking place tonight. Even a small amount of icing is still enough to make things slippery. Wintry mix tonight down to 32. Tomorrow, temperatures climb into the upper 40s. Showers in the morning, breezy in the afternoon. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Snow showers Friday north of the Mohawk Valley, 45. A cold but dry weekend. Temperatures in the upper 30s Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures in the low 40s on Monday with the rain-snow mix possible again looking ahead to Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Alert day. It's been a while since I've said those words.
A long time, actually. A wintry mix beginning tonight and continuing through the morning is expected. To break it all down for us, we start in the Weather Center with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Yeah, the big concern is when this turns over to sleet and freezing rain. We're thinking the window would be midnight to about 5 a.m. That's when roads will be slippery. Still, even through early tomorrow morning, untreated surfaces could be slippery. So just be careful if you're venturing out late tonight and into early Thursday. We're looking at this combination of snow, sleet, and freezing rain over to plain rain as we head into Thursday during the morning time. Winter weather advisories in effect for all of central New York with this precipitation rolling in. We can see it moving in on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar to the west. I think the start time here is 8 to 10 p.m. Initially starting out as light snow before it makes that transition over to sleet and freezing rain around midnight. Current temperature 33 degrees. It's been a cold day and it's plenty cold for this to start out as snow, which it will here as we head into this evening. Temperatures in the 30s. We're tracking when conditions improve on Thursday, and it's coming up. Jason, back over to you.
Thank you, Bill. Firefighters were.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
We're tracking the potential for slippery roads tonight as a wintry mix arrives. A combination of snow, sleet, freezing rain, and rain is expected to occur beginning this evening. Between 8 to 10 p.m. it starts out as snow before it mixes with and changes over to sleet and freezing rain around midnight, and then over to rain by early tomorrow morning. Conditions will improve for Thursday morning's commute, but before then, things can be slippery, especially untreated surfaces. So live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We've got lots of colors showing up to the west. This is showing the mixing taking place. The leading edge of this is encountering some cold air, and that starts out as light snow this evening. I'm not expecting any big issues initially with road conditions, but as this turns over to sleet and freezing rain, that's when things get slippery tonight. It's not expected to accumulate to a lot, but even a small amount of ice makes things slippery. So again, if you're traveling tonight, be careful on the roads. Tomorrow morning, this turns over to rain. Temperatures climb above freezing. Conditions will improve throughout the day. A live look in downtown Utica. All is quiet for now. It's been a cold day. The air definitely feels like kind of like early winter with temperatures in the 30s. Barneveld 32, Norway 32, Old Forge 28, across Southern Valleys, Richfield 32, Cassville, Helen with 34. So it is plenty cold enough for this to initially start out as snow. But eventually warm air works in a loft, and this turns over to sleet and freezing rain as we head into tonight. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast again, initially starting out as snow 8 to 10 p.m., a very light accumulation, a dusting to about a half an inch for most of us. As it turns over to sleet and freezing rain, that's when things get slippery, and that happens around midnight or so. Slippery roads are possible overnight. By 5 a.m. tomorrow, most of us climb above freezing. There will be some exceptions north and east of Utica. These areas tend to hold on to cold air longer due to terrain. So again, some slippery spots could linger in parts of central New York, but again, most of us will be above freezing. And even the areas that struggle to warm up, they eventually will during the afternoon time, or during the late morning, early afternoon. In fact, look at these temperatures Thursday around noontime, close to 50. With mostly cloudy skies. Cooler air works in as we head into tomorrow night and Friday, and we expect to see some lake effect rain and snow showers take place Friday afternoon, especially north of the Mohawk Valley. Some light ice accumulation is possible, especially in and north and east of Utica. Again, this takes place tonight through about early tomorrow morning. Wintry mix tonight, low of 32. Watch out on untreated surfaces tomorrow morning. This does turn over to rain, and temperatures will climb above freezing. Showers in the morning, breezy, dry in the afternoon. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sprinkles, flurries north of the Mohawk Valley on Friday, 45. It turns cold again this weekend, but we see some sunshine on Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures in the upper 30s, dry Monday, and then light rain and snow showers return on Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Jason Powless, thank you for joining us. We're going to get to those stories in just a moment. First, it is a Storm Tracker 2 alert day. Mixed precipitation falling in the area. Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis. Boy, look at that radar. There's a lot going on outside tonight.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's leading to slippery roads. You're going to have to be careful if you're heading out tonight. Just a small amount of icing has taken place so far, but it doesn't take much icing to create slippery roads, especially since we don't have that underlying layer of salt and sand. Although I have to say, the road crews have been out and the main roads have been well treated. So I don't think the impact is going to be super high here, but it's more of a concern on driveways, sidewalks, parking lots. And this transition from sleet and freezing rain will turn over to rain as we head into tomorrow morning. But yes, for the time being, things are looking slippery. So do be careful if you're venturing out tonight. In fact, look to the west. You can actually see those white dots. That's our weather system detecting lightning out towards Buffalo. That's not going to be the case locally tonight, but it does go to show you that this weather system relatively strong. We do have winter weather advisories in effect for central New York, again, because of the wintry mix that takes place tonight. Temperatures remain in the low 30s tonight. We're tracking when conditions improve for tomorrow morning's commute, and that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. We're following breaking news.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good evening. We are now in alert mode as we have a wintry mix impacting central New York. Sleet and freezing rain is occurring across the majority of our area. It's not really heavy, but even small amounts of icing will make things slippery. Untreated surfaces are the primary concern. Driveways, parking lots, sidewalks. Be careful if you're going to be heading out tonight or early tomorrow. The road crews have been doing a very good job treating the roads, so I'm not expecting any big problems driving on, again, main roads. Side roads, and again, untreated surfaces will be slippery here through tonight. Eventually, this wintry mix turns over to rain as we head into tomorrow morning as warmer air works in from the west. So again, travel is most impacted overnight. By the morning commute, most of us seeing wet conditions. And again, rain is expected to fall through the morning time. So I have a look in downtown Utica. Again, that sleet and freezing rain could make things a little bit icy here for the next several hours. We're going to give a shout out to the folks at German Flats tonight. German Flats Community Center got a chance to speak about the winter outlook and about some of the winter weather we can expect this season to the Fort Herkimer Amateur Radio Association. Good crowd tonight. Winds will be picking up tonight as low pressure moves through the region. They initially come in from the southeast and then they turn into the west. Wind gusts as high as about 30 miles an hour is to be expected here late tonight as well as tomorrow afternoon. The winds will become lighter as we head into Friday. Radar and satellite image shows a warm front moving through, and then that's what's bringing a wintry mix to our area. Again, most of this happens tonight and things start to quiet down for tomorrow. Again, watch out for some slippery spots overnight. Temperatures will stay in the low 30s and then gradually warm throughout the day tomorrow. 7 o'clock in the morning, showers, temperatures in the 30s. We climb into the upper 40s in the mid-afternoon time, and then some colder weather will work in from the west. Generally dry weather through tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, and then some lingering lake effect rain and snow showers will be taking place generally north of the Mohawk Valley for Friday. Light icing tonight, not a significant accumulation, but again enough to make things slippery. Wintry mix tonight, low of 32. Showers tomorrow morning. We'll get a chance to melt off this ice. Temperatures will be near 49 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Snow showers north on Friday, 45. A cold, dry weekend. Temperatures in the upper 30s both Saturday and Sunday. Dry Monday, 44. And then some light rain and snow showers return on Tuesday. We'll be right back.